Hello everybody, Jacob from Wager Me this year. In this video, I'm going to do something similar to what I did in the last video. I'm going to take this $1,000, but instead of playing a continuous don't, I'm going to play a single don't. If that don't loses, then the next don't that comes out, I'm going to play that don't, but I'm going to add odds. I'm only going to play a single don't at a time, and each time, like the first step in odds, I'm going to put enough odds on to win $50, and then $100, and then $200. Now, obviously, with just $1,000 bankroll, you can't lose very many times, but most likely you're not going to lose more than 3 or 4 times in a row. And so we're going to just see how this goes. But again, playing the don't should be pretty consistent. It's probably the most consistent play on the board. The don't, I mean, you're always gonna, the 7's always gonna come, right? So you have basically one way for don't players to really get crushed, and that's usually come outs. Outside of that, you're in the advantage. You have the advantage probability wise, so you should do pretty well. All right, here we go. Start with a quarter. If we lose this one, let's say we roll a 9, we get on the point of a 9. If we win, we'll collect. If we lose, we'll put another don't out. Let's say it ends up on a point of a 6. We'll put 90 in odds, and then, or 60 in odds, sorry. And then the next round, we'll try to, instead of win 50 extra, we'll try to win 75 extra if we keep getting knocked off. Now, there's no set pattern to this as far as I'm concerned. It's just, you want to add more, because the don't's eventually going to win, guys. There's a 5 deuce 7. On the comeouts, it's just the cost of doing business as far as I'm concerned. So you're just gonna have to eat those losers. You will have a handful of winners to offset the 11 probably, but that'll be about it. 5-1-6. This style of play is boring, but this style of play will keep you at the table all day. 6-3-9. 4-6. Okay, so there's a loser. So this next one, whatever number we get, we're going to add enough odds to win $50. The reason is because we lost the 25, so now we want to win. And there's a 5, 4-1, 4-1-5. So we're going to win. We're going to add $75 in odds, which will win 50. Here we go. 5-3-8. 6-4-10. 3-1-2-3. And a 7 out. Okay, so that was not a 4, guys, it was a 7. So what happened here is, not counting the comeouts, we won 1 point and we lost 1 point. You're going to win your $75. Drop back down. All right, here we go. So all you basically need is a streak of 2 or 3 wins on the don't. There's a win right there, so that's a back-to-back wins. That's aces. It's going to win a quarter. So let's just see where we're at. We'll keep these in hundreds. You know the blacks are 500, so it's not too hard to figure out there. So we're up $50 at this point. Quarter on the table plus the quarter right there. Up $50. And there's a 3, so now we're up $75. And so on and so forth. This is a very easy way to play, very consistent way to play. You're going to be able to do this all day, most likely, on a smaller bankroll. And there's an 8 the hard way, square pair, hard 8. So here we go. Again, we haven't lost, so in this run, there's a 6-4-10. So no odds, we're just playing the don't. And 6, 4 deuce. And again, I know a lot of people will just like shy away from this because it's, number one, it's boring. It's a boring way to play craps. 4 deuce 6. But also because people consider this playing against the other players, which it's not, but people consider it that. 5 deuce 7. There we go. So we're up $100 now. We're up 10% on our money. And an 11. Okay, so we're not up quite 10% anymore. And a 10, hard 10, 5, 5. 1, 2, 3. But you get the idea of this. This is a very simple way to play it. I was kind of hoping it would get knocked off twice. That way you could see us go to the bigger odds. Kind of see the idea why. Problem is the don't generally kind of wins one, lose one, win one, you lose one. Kind of how it goes usually. It's the nature of its probability. And there's a 7. Come back here. All right, so we're still up $100. Let's see what happens. And we got a back-to-back 7s. Not really though. This would be a different shooter, so it would be back-to-back on the table, but not by the same guy. Here we go. And you could go up there if you wanted. There's a 3. We're going to win that back. You could like double your bet there, which would make sense. It's not totally out of line or anything. In fact, you could play that this way. You could just forego the odds and just double your bet like a true martingale. You're going to do pretty well with it. There's a 3. But there's a 7 out. But this way kind of stops you from getting smashed on the come-outs on the martingale where you had 3 or 4 come-outs in a row where you lost. You know, this way you'd only lose $100 instead of 1,000. You know, martingale. There's a 46. One, 2, 3. 6, 5. Yep. 5, 1, 6. There we go. We had a loss. So now we're going to get a go up on our next one, which is the idea of this strategy. That's what I want to show more so than us just winning a quarter at a time, which a quarter at a time is fine. 6, dang it. I was hoping we would get a little adversity. Oh, we forgot our odds. Okay, so we just rolled another 6. I'm gonna put our odds like we put our odds out there. All right, so we would get, if we were trying to win 50, obviously we would have put 60 in odds. So let's put that down. So we'd have lost 60, bang, and the 25. So now we would go back up and see 6. Okay, so a lot of 6s. All right, so now since we lost 25, then 50, 110, so now we need to go like 180 in odds, something like that. 180 pays 150. That way we're winning our money back. Now this is the part of the strategy people will like. And there's an 8, 5, 3. But this is the nature of what you would need to do to be successful with this. And there's the 6, bang. All right, so now, you know, with all those losses put together, you're gonna have a pretty healthy bet here. Maybe you won't get the 6, which would be nice, right? And there's a 5, okay? So we gained a combination there. All right, so now what we're gonna go, 300 pay 200. So maybe we go, I don't know, 360 pays 240. So we'll go 300. Hard 10. Hard 8. $617. Okay, so I don't know if that was 3 losses or 4 losses. I can't remember exactly. But we're going to win 225. Now I know that probably doesn't cover everything, but as you saw, the progression of it worked. So what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're up 10 bucks, 35 bucks. We're up 35 bucks. That's why you progress it, because when it finally does win, you win all your money back. That's the idea behind it. That's what you're trying to do. You sit here, probably play all day on it. 4, 3, 7. So that's a win. Again, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But the little progression should keep you in the profit most times, unless you're in the middle of the progression. Heart 6. And this way is not a new way to play, guys. It's a very old way to play. Very old way to play. But it's effective. Hard 10. It's highly effective. The only thing that really crushes you is if you have a ridiculous amount of point hits. There's a 5. And a 6. All right. Get it progress up a little bit. All right, here we go. And we got a 3, so we're going to win that quarterback. At this point, you could decide to not progress up if you want, but we're gonna progress up. And a 7, so we gave that right back. And a 5, there we go. So we're progressing up still. I know it took a few rolls to get here, but so we're looking at going 75 in odds here. Hard 6, 2 3s. And a 9, 6 tray 9. 5 3 8, a lot of 3s. 6 3 9. It's interesting, so many 3s on the dice. 6 5, yo. 5 do 7. All right, here we go. So it's going to win 75 total. 25 flat, 50 on the odds. You get all your money back plus some. You just repeat this process over and over and over. Most likely you're going to come out a pretty healthy winner. All right, so if we put that back up, so there's 500. There's 1,000. So we're up $110 at this point right now. 110 bucks. Not bad. Not bad. We only had a couple that we had to go up on. You guys, I wanted to show this because this style of play often gets overlooked or often gets looked down upon, but it's actually a very consistent style of play. Anything to do with the progressive don't stuff is going to be very consistent. Don't get me wrong, there's a handful of times it's going to get absolutely crushed, but most of the time you're going to win some money with it. So again, guys, I know this isn't the most popular way to play, and a lot of people, there's people that won't even play the don't just because they feel like it's against the game, but it's very consistent. It's why the casino uses the 7 on their team, because it's going to come enough times, and you know, you're using the advantage of, you know, the probability of the don't is basically just under 50%. It's going to win half the time, lose half the time, essentially. So you're kind of taking advantage of that by adding odds after the loss and then continually adding them so you actually win when it does win. And so again, it's similar to a martingale in a way, except for you're kind of avoiding the come out on the martingale. The problem with the martingale and the don't is generally the run of come out losers, you know, 7 7 11, then a point of 6 and then hit a 6 kind of thing. So you're kind of avoiding that, playing it this way. But anyways, guys, hope you like this video. I know it's not going to be the most popular one, but don't stuff is valuable, guys. Knowing the don't, playing the don't is valuable. Don't take it for granted. It can help you a lot. But anyways, guys, thank you for your time. This is Jacob from Which Be This.